Hello and welcome. I hope you're well and you've had a great week so far, wherever you are in the world. So let's get started because today we're going to be doing something a little different. It's not going to be any theory or frameworks. We're just going to be creating a simple nurture funnel that actually works for your business. So, where I'd like you to start is for you to open your laptop because we're going to be doing this together. Now, let me tell you something I see a lot of SME business owners do. When a lead comes in, they either do nothing or they send one awkward follow up email, and then there's utter silence. The lead goes cold, and the business owner wonders why nobody's buying. But here's what's actually happening: it's not that the lead wasn't interested, they're just not interested right now. And it's also because nobody followed up either consistently or was something worth reading. And that's what we're going to be fixing today because we're going to be building a system that follows up with every lead automatically from the moment they show interest until they're ready to have a conversation. So this is going to be 5 emails over 10 days and then 1 email per week. We set it up once, it runs whilst you sleep. So let's build this. So step 1 is to make sure you choose your tool because you will need an email marketing platform, something that lets you automate sequences. And 2 great options for this include MailerLite and MailChimp. Both are free to start, both have automation built in. MailerLite is slightly simpler and MailChimp has more features but can feel a bit cluttered as a bit more expensive. But if you're starting from scratch, go with MailerLite. If you're already on MailChimp, stay there. Do not switch just because of this podcast. The principles are identical. And one important thing is when you actually create your account, make sure you use your business email address, not Gmail or Hotmail, your actual business domain, as this affects deliverability. And that's whether your emails land in the inbox or straight to junk. It matters more than people realize. Once your account is set up, make sure you verify your email, then move to step 2. In step 2, then what you need to do is create your audience group in both MailerLite and MailChimp. You can organize your contacts into groups. Create one called New Leads. This is the bucket that new contacts fall into when they fill in your form, because they will join this group, and that is going to trigger the sequence. It's that simple, one group. That's all you need for now. Then you have step 3. And here's where you write your 5 emails before you even touch the automation. Write those emails first. Open a Google or Word doc. You're going to need 5 emails. Each one has a job. And here's exactly what each one does. So your first email is your welcome email. This goes out immediately within seconds of someone signing up. So your subject line might be something like, welcome, here's what's going to happen next. 3 short paragraphs. 1, thank them, be warm and be human. 2, tell them who you are in 1 sentence, what you do and who you help. And 3, tell them what to expect over the next couple of weeks. No selling or offers, just a warm hello. Your second email is your insight email, which is going to go out 3 days later. Subject line like the mistake that most type of businesses like yours in your market make with their main problem. Share one observation, something you've learned working with your own clients, something they probably don't know, something that makes them go, oh, that's interesting, that's me. End with a question. Does any of this sound familiar to you, to try and get engagement? Because you want replies, because replies signal to the platform that this isn't spam. Email 3 is the proof email, which goes out 5 days after a sign up. For example, how a client went from this to this result. Tell one client story, because you don't need to provide the names of your client if you may face permission issues. Just make sure you say the industry they're in, what the problem was, and how you helped them, and what changed in 150 words. And end up with, if you're facing something similar, just hit reply. Email 4 is the observation email, which goes out 7 days after sign up. Start with something I keep seeing with businesses like yours do this. Share a pattern you're noticing in your market or in your industry. something relevant to them right now. And end with, I'd love to know if you're seeing this too. Then we've got email 5, which is the framework email, which goes out 10 days after sign up. Something around we use this simple process to solve a problem and then give them the framework and a 3-step model, something that helps them see their problem differently. Don't hold back here. The more value you give, the more they trust you. End with a soft call to action, like if you'd like to talk through how this applies to your business, just hit reply. And you're done. Your 5 emails are written. Now let's automate them. And this is where step 4 comes into play. How to build that automation. In MailerLite, go to your automations. In MailChimp, it's called customer journeys, and create an automation. Call it something like new lead nurture sequence and set the trigger. The trigger is when someone joins your new leads group, and that's it. That's what kicks everything off. Now add your first email, set it to send immediately. Paste in your welcome email and your subject line and your body, and then add a delay, 3 days for example. Then add email 2, which is your insight email, then add another delay of 2 days. That puts email 3 at day 5, which is your proof email. Then another delay of 2 days. Then email 4 at day 7, which is your observation email. Then your final delay of 3 days, which is your email 5 at day 10. This is your framework email, so make sure you save it, activate it, and then you're done. And every new lead now gets that full sequence automatically. So what we want to do now is look at step 5. So you're going to set up your sign up form in MailerLite or MailChimp. So go to forms, create a simple form, first name and email only. Don't ask for more than that, because every additional field you add reduces the number of people who will complete it. Give the form a clear headline, something specific to what they're going to get. Connect the form to your new leads group, copy the embed code, paste it onto your website. It could be your homepage or your contact page, your blog, anywhere a lead may find you. That's the loop closed. Someone fills in the form, they join the group, and the automation fires and the sequence begins. Step 6. So you want to test the whole thing yourself, and this is not an optional step. Fill in your own form with your own email and check that the welcome email arrives. Check how it looks on mobile, because over half your leads will read it on their phone. So if it looks broken on mobile, make sure you fix it before it goes live. Walk through the full sequence, read every email. Does it even sound like you? Does it feel natural, or does it feel like it was written by a big corporate with no personality? Make it sound personal. Fix anything that feels off, then and only then let the sequence and the automation go live. And then we have step 7, set up your weekly newsletter. So after email 5, the sequence ends. But your relationship with that lead does not end there. Just because they don't respond, you don't just cancel or switch off. You then switch to your weekly email once a week, every week. In both platforms, this is called campaign. It's a one-off email. You write it, you schedule it, and it goes to your whole list. Set aside 30 minutes every week to write one short email and rotate through 5 types. Week 1, a useful insight. Week 2, something you're observing in the market. Week 3, a common mistake. Week 4, a framework or a process. Week 5, a client result. Then repeat. That's 52 emails a year, all adding value and all building trust in your brand, and all of them keeping you top of mind. When a lead is finally ready to buy, you're the one they think of, because you never disappeared. So step 8 is we need to make sure that we track, measure and improve. And this is where most people fall down. They build the sequence, they activate it, and they never look at it again. And that's a massive mistake, because the data tells you exactly what's working and exactly what isn't. So here's what to track and what to do about it. You want to be looking at open rates, because this tells you whether your subject lines are working. A good open rate for a nurture sequence is 35 to 50%. If you're below 25%, your subject lines need a little bit of work. And the fix is make them more specific and more curious. For example, 3 mistakes your target business makes, or our latest, instead of our latest update every time. Never start a subject line with your company name because nobody really cares yet. They care about themselves and their problems, so make sure that you write subject lines that speak to that. This then tells you whether the content is engaging enough to act on and what you should be looking for in terms of a good click rate is between 3 to 8%. If almost nobody is clicking, you either have no clear call to action or you have too many. And you only need one link per email and one thing that you want them to do. Read the article, watch this video, reply with a question. Just pick one and make it really obvious. So looking at reply rates, and this is the one most people ignore, and it's the most valuable metric in a nurture sequence. If people are replying to your emails, you're doing it right. Replies mean they are engaged. Replies mean they trust you enough to respond, and replies are the beginning of a sales conversation. If nobody is replying, your emails are either too polished, too corporate, too broadcasty. Loosen them up. You're having a conversation. Write like a human and ask real questions. And when someone does reply, respond personally every single time, because that's how leads become clients. Now looking at unsubscribe rates. Don't panic when people unsubscribe. I see this all the time because it's completely normal and it's healthy, and actually you don't want those people on the list. People who aren't interested or leaving is fine. You only want engaged people on your list anyway. But if more than 1 to 2% are unsubscribing per email, that's a signal. Either you're emailing too frequently or the content isn't relevant enough, or both. When you are actually going to need to review and adjust this is make sure you set a monthly reminder for 30 minutes and look at the data across your whole sequence. Which email has the highest open rate? Study that subject line, apply the same approach to the others. Which email has the lowest open rate? Rewrite that subject line. Which email gets the most replies? That's the content your audience connects with most. Write more like that. Which email gets the most unsubscribes? That one needs a rethink. The goal is constant marginal improvement. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Change one subject line, see if the open rate improves. Change one call to action, see if clicks go up. Small changes, consistent monitoring. That's how a good sequence becomes a great one. So let me give you a quick recap. Step 1 is set up your MailerLite or MailChimp. Use your business email. Step 2 is create a group called New Leads. Step 3, write 5 emails: welcome, insight, proof, observation, framework. Step 4, build the automation, 5 emails over 10 days. Step 5, create your sign-up form and connect it to your group and add it to your website. Step 6, test the full sequence yourself, fix anything that feels off. And step 7, set up your weekly newsletter, 1 email every week. And step 8, track opens, clicks and replies, review monthly and improve constantly. That's the system. 2 to 3 hours to build, then it runs itself. And here's the good thing. You don't need a huge list for this to work. Even 50 leads going through this sequence is enough. Is 50 people learning to trust you week by week, email by email, and you've built it in a week. Don't wait until it's perfect. A sequence that exists and runs is worth more than a perfect one. If it's still sitting in Google Doc, time to get it out of there. That's everything for this week. If this was useful, please make sure that you like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.